They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, cause anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Live to the conqueror.
Hey fight fans, it's Jackie the Boxing Diva. You're here for another edition of The Boxing Voice, live at the fights. I'm with Philadelphia's own Fast Eddie Chambers, stepping into the ring Saturday night on NBC Sports Network against Tomasz Adamek. How you feeling?
I feel great. Been in camp for about a good 7-8 weeks, and I feel really good.
Okay, so what weight are you trying to come in at? You look a little slim and trim here.
I don't know. You know, it's going to probably be somewhere a little below 210, 208, 209.
Is that a weight you fought at before and felt good at?
Yeah, my last fight was at 208. My last fight was at 208. I think it was at 208. And my previous two were at probably around the same 208, 209. So I'm comfortable there, able to move faster, drop the punches easier. Feel good.
Okay. So actually airing tonight was that Fight Camp 360 or 36 on NBC Sports Network. What was the experience? Have you ever been a part of like a 24/7 environment like that before, and how was that for you?
Not necessarily a 24/7. It was more of an interview-based type thing with ESPN. We did something a few years ago when I fought Sam Peter, and I think it was in Los Angeles, in the Nokia Center. And it was a pretty nice experience then. But this is something a little bit more in depth. They try to get a little bit more about me, and a little bit more time, obviously a few days, and see me outside of just the boxing. You know what I mean? So even it was in camp and everything. It was just some of the things away from the sport. You know what I mean? The jokes and the games that we played and all of the stuff. So it was a nice little experience, and it's great to see the fans get an opportunity to see you in another light.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about Saturday night, if you will. There's people, Hensley, Big Mike over there, my dad, who's saying that you're the better boxer and that you could really take this fight from him. If he decides to bring it to you, you could kind of outbox him a little bit. Is that maybe part of your game plan?
I mean, it could be. You know what I mean? I want to leave things a little more to the imagination in that regard. But no, honestly, it's just you got to be able to adapt. You know what I mean? In the ring, this is professional boxing. You know what I mean? Everybody fights to their strengths, but it's when someone is able to nullify your strengths, how can you adjust? And Tomasz Adamek seems to be the kind of guy who can adjust. And he's been able to adjust as well as myself. So that makes for a very interesting fight, crowd-pleasing as well.
Do you feel like being the natural heavyweight in the fight gives you maybe a little bit of an advantage?
It's kind of funny because even though I've been heavyweight all my whole career, I'm going to be the much lighter guy. You know what I mean? But I'm used to it. I feel comfortable at a lighter weight. I still can do the things that I do great at at 208 and stuff like that. And
do you feel like you're more maybe used to taking punches from a heavyweight than he might be?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I've been being there all my whole career, fighting nothing but big monsters. It just happens to be something that you get used to. I don't take very many punches, and I want to keep it that way. But in this kind of a fight, I mean, you just got to be prepared for anything.
So you're fighting out of Philadelphia, the fighting capital of the world, my favorite boxing city. I'm a Blue Horizon kind of gal.
Oh, and that's where I come from.
I know, I've been there. I've seen you. So let's talk about a prospect on the undercard, also out of Philadelphia, Brian Jennings on the card. Have you seen any of his fights, and what do you think about him?
I was actually in the house for his last fight on the 24th up in Brooklyn, where he fought a guy that I was supposed to fight, Sergey Liakovich, and completely dominated him. And surprised me to a degree because I thought maybe Liakovich had something left, but I think he showed that he knocked it all out of him that night. But he was impressive, active, moving, and really, really confident. And that's a big, big part of being a quality fighter.
So would you say he knocked Liakovich off your list?
Yeah, I think so. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm aiming for guys like Adamek. I'm not thinking of anybody else right now but him. You know what I mean? He's the kind of fighter that if you overlook, you can get stepped on. And that's not the kind of thing I want to do. I want to make sure that I'm prepared for him and him only. After the fight's over and I win, then we could talk about everything
We could talk
else.
about maybe you and Brian Jennings at the new Alhambra?
I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I want him to keep his streak going and keep on fighting and move toward big things as well. It is, but I just don't think at this point he needs to do that. You know what I mean? Me beating Adamek and then all of a sudden him beating the guy he's facing and then putting him it's just not a good idea, not right away. I would rather do that if there was a title at stake or a real position at stake for a title shot, maybe. Then we could talk about it. But other than that, I wouldn't even entertain it.
Okay. Do you have any social media, your Twitter, your Instagram, anything you want to shout out right now?
Actually, I have all of them. And it's at ChampFest on Twitter and Instagram. And my Facebook My Facebook fan page is Fast Eddie Chambers. So, all those little things. I mean, I'm on there, and I try to, consort with the fans and the media as much as I can.
Okay, so just real quick, I want to thank you for doing this interview with us. Philadelphia's own Fast Eddie Chambers. This is Jackie the Boxing Diva. We're live at the fights, and we're signing out.
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit. I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass. You won't do shit.
When you hit the pedal, ain't gonna be no gas in the car at the end of this. All right? Your combination shame, nobody in this division hands as fast as yours. Run them combinations, knock the grease off this dude.